Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon, magkahatid sa kaakibat ay diskusyon. Sama-sama tayo, kahit magkalayo. Sa programang ito, tiyak ang pagkatuto. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes, we will be on a nationwide satellite broadcast. Please stand by. Blessed be agriculture, if one does not have too much of it. Delphilarians and the rest of the world, good morning. I'm your teacher, Sir Archie Villanca Pajardo, and welcome to Sana All, Sir Archie Now I Online, with a segment entitled Agriculture Virtual Focus, which discuss and features different horizons on agricultural crops production that can be done virtually under this new normal. But before anything else, let me thank you for your continuing support and religiously tuning in to our official school, radio-based and social media-based instruction, Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Manuleño. So stay tuned everyone, sana all makinig, sana all may matutunan. And please like and subscribe our YouTube and Facebook page, Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Manuleño. Looking back in time, I remember how you smiled. Thanks for all the memories of all the laughters and cheers. And now that you're gone, all I need to do is to look back in time. And as we go along with our agriculture virtual focus, let us not look back, not to your ex, but for the things that we have discussed last time. So sana all, binabalikan. Looking back, when we discuss about the factors to consider in selecting the site for planting vegetable crop production, we have listed down different factors. And to deal with, the most important is the sunlight. The more sunlight the sun receives, the better for a vegetable garden. Most vegetables need full sun at about 6 hours of direct sunlight per day to grow to their maximum potential, so avoid spots that are shaded by trees or buildings. So on your screen, you can see different letters. Each letter corresponds with the category or word which I will be asking you to guess. As you select the letter, I will click the letter, then a picture clue will appear. You may guess the category if you think that the picture is enough to support your answer. If your answer is correct, I will click show to reveal the entire picture. Remember, you can only guess the category if you answer the letter clue correctly. So let's begin. Again, Delphilarians, game ka na ba? So kindly choose a letter. For example, letter S. What S is a young plant, especially one raised from seed and not from a cutting? Again, for letter S, what S is a young plant, especially one raised from seed and not from a cutting? The answer is seedling. Correct. Thank you for answering correctly, my fellow students from grade 9-1. What about letter P? Let's proceed with letter P. What P is a living organism of the kind exemplified by trees, herbs, grasses, ferns, typically growing in a permanent site, absorbing water and inorganic substance through its roots and synthesizing nutrients in its leaves by photosynthesis using the green pigment chlorophyll. Again, I will repeat the question for letter P. What P is a living organism of the kind exemplified by trees, herbs, grasses, ferns, typically growing in a permanent site, absorbing water and inorganic substance through its roots and synthesizing nutrients in its leaves by photosynthesis using the green pigment chlorophyll? The answer is plant. Let's proceed with letter G. Letter G. What G is a small piece of ground used to grow vegetables, fruit, herbs, or flowers? Again, what G is a small piece of ground used to grow vegetable, fruits, herbs, or flowers? The answer is garden. Next, let's proceed with letter C. What C is the provision of what is necessary for the health, welfare, maintenance, and protection of someone or something? Come again. What C is the provision of what is necessary for the health, welfare, maintenance, and protection of someone or something? The answer is care for letter C. Perhaps I need this too, care. Okay. What about letter H? For letter H, what H is a branch of agriculture that deals with the study about plants? Again, for letter H, what H is a branch of agriculture that deals with the study about plants? The answer is horticulture. Very good. My student coming from 9-2. What about letter B? For letter B as in boy, what B is to develop a kind for a particular purpose or quality? Again, letter B as in boy, what B is to develop a kind of plant for a particular purpose or quality? The answer is breed. B-R-E-E-D, breed. Let's proceed with letter I. What I means concentrated on a single area into a short time. Again, what I means concentrated on a single area into a short time. Okay, someone is answering. The answer is correct, intensive. Okay, intensive for letter I. What about letter V as in victory? Or letter V, what V is a plant or part of a plant used as food, typically as accompaniment to meat or fish? Examples, cabbage, potato, bean. Again, what V is a plant or part of a plant used as food, typically as accompaniment to meat or fish, such as cabbage, potato, or bean. Your answer? Okay, letter V, vegetable. Very good. My student coming from 9-3. What about the three remaining, F, R, and L? Let's proceed with my favorite letter, letter R, before we proceed with letter F and letter L. Okay, for letter R, what R is the part of a plant that grows downward and holds the plant in place? Again, what R is a part of a plant that grows downward and holds the plant in place? The answer? Someone is answering. The answer is root. Very good. So letter R, root. What about the two remaining letter F and letter L? Let's proceed with letter L, as in love. I think I'm falling in love with you. Okay? What letter L, or as in love, is all the visible features of an area or countryside or land, often considered in terms of their aesthetic appeal. Again, what L is all the visible features of an area or countryside or land, often considered in terms of their aesthetic appeal. For those plantitos and plantitas, usually they are doing this. Okay, the answer is letter L, landscape. Okay, so the last letter for our category, we have letter F. Letter F as in fiancé. Okay, letter F. What letter F is the science and craft of creating, managing, using, conserving, and repairing forests and woodlands for human and environmental benefits. Again, what F is the science and craft of creating, managing, using, conserving, and repairing forests and woodlands for human and environmental benefits? The answer is forestry. Very good. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. All the letters has been revealed. So may I someone to reveal what is our category for this day? Okay, may I show that? The answer is, of course, nursery. So that is our topic for today, ladies and gentlemen. All the letters has been revealed, and our category has been also revealed based on the different categories or letter clue. Okay. Again, please like and subscribe on our YouTube and Facebook page, Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat malulay. For our lesson objectives for this day, we have number 1, define what is a plant nursery. The second one, give the different kinds of nursery. Then the third one, identify and list down the different types of nursery businesses. The title of the lesson, perform nursery work. After learning the tools, materials, and equipment used in nursery work, it is necessary that you'll be oriented on how different activities in the nursery is being done. Practices follow proper guidelines based on authority requirements and workplace procedures. Interpersonal relationship between and among co-workers and possible customers are also assessed in this lesson to make the venture not only a success, but socially stimulating as well. First and foremost, let us define what is a plant nursery. Plant nursery is being defined as a portion of agriculture where plants are propagated, nurtured, grown, and sold out to the home garden or commercial purpose. Sana all, nurtured. Sana all, inaalagaan. Pero ang masakit nito, after kang alagaan, ibebenta ka na lang. So that is a nursery. But then having a kind of nursery as a portion of agriculture, it is being propagated, nurtured. Yan ang masarap, yung inaalagaan ka. Okay? So fellow Delphilarians, that is what is a nursery all about. What about, let's proceed. This is the kind of nursery I'm talking to. Let's proceed with the different kinds of nursery. Different kinds of nursery, we have temporary nursery. In this type, the nursery is maintained to supply nursery stock for a limited period over which the stock is substituted with a different stock. Temporary from the word temporary. So kaya lang yung pagmamahal ko sa iyo, hindi temporary. Malamang ito yung susunod na kinds of nursery, which is permanent. This is the kind of temporary nursery. This is the permanent nursery. So like what I have said before, during my co-teachers, okay lang na ikaw ay hindi wala pang item. Permanent ka naman sa puso ko. So a permanent nursery, it is a kind of nursery where plant nursery stock and services continue a year long. In this, the difference between temporary and permanent nursery is that permanent nursery is a kind of nursery that takes time or continues a year long. So what does a permanent nursery looks like? This one. Compared to the first picture, which is the temporary nursery, once the stock is being planted or transplant, there's another way to substitute another stock or kinds of plant. But in this kind of nursery, which is the permanent nursery, it takes time or it takes long to be substituted. We have the next type. We have the forest nursery. This nursery propagates and grows the stock of forest trees, shrub, utilized to distribute trees for forest improvement, landscaping, or woods farms for timber distribution. Forest nursery. From the term forest, we are dealing with the conservation of forest and the proper distribution of timber and other wood materials coming from this kind of nursery. This is the example of how a forest nursery looks like. Next, we have vegetable nursery. So shout out to all vegetarians there. This nursery thrives in good demand as home gardeners love to own vegetable growing in their houses. So in this kind of pandemic, it is very unusual to this kind of vegetable nursery that each student like you, fellow Delpilarian, Archinatics, I shout out to all Archinatics. This is very necessary. The kind of vegetable nursery that we are dealing with our homes, especially na hindi tayo nakakalabas ngayon, it is very well, it is very appropriate for us to have a kind of vegetable nursery at home. Especially ngayong pandemic, the price of the commodities are talagang napakataas. So I think I encourage each and everyone, especially my students coming from 9-1, 9-2, 9-3, 9-22, and 9-15, and all the rest of the Alpilians to plant at least a vegetable at your home and start your own vegetable nursery. The next kind of nursery, we have fruit nursery. It so happened that you are not a vegetarian, but then having the fruit nursery, this type of nursery grows wide varieties and forms of fruit trees for home and commercial planting. So this kind of fruit nursery deals with the study or having the fruit trees at home commercially, and having this kind also will help this kind of pandemic that we could finally assess what is this pandemic all about. So having a fruit nursery at home, so definitely hindi na tayo bibili kung meron tayong mga example of vegetable nursery and fruit nursery at home. So this is the example. Just imagine how lucky you are or how rich you are having this kind of fruit nursery at home. So both vegetables, both fruit nursery at home, you can deal with this one, this kind of pandemic. So very, very popular nowadays, yung mga plantitas at plantitos because of this kind of pandemic. But fellow Delpilarians, I think it is more than enough for us to establish at least a kind of nursery at home, either a vegetable nursery or a fruit nursery. Because in this kind of pandemic, it is what? It is a help for us to have this kind of nursery at home. Taking aside what we call next example is the flower plant nursery. As the name implies, this nursery stocks flowering plants to sell. It is very rampant, or it is very useful when there's an occasion. But then having this kind of flower plant nursery, especially our plantitos and plantitas nowadays, it is very useful that you see your flowering plant blossoming. So flower plant nursery, as the name implies, this nursery stocks flowering plants to sell. So this is the example. Okay. So pag may flower plant ka na nursery at home, minsan pag mga roses yan, pag may mga occasion, so hindi ka na bibili ng mga bulaklak, diyan ka na lang mamibitas sardine mo. And then one of the pack, kung ayaw mong ibigay sa kanya yung bulaklak, isama mo doon sa garden mo. And perhaps it is more sweet than having this kind of flower plant nursery na talagang kung papupuntahin mo siya doon sa lugar niyo, blossoming with flowers, mas sweet yun kaysa sa personally, bibigyan mo siya ng mga bulaklak. Para sa akin po yun, fellow Delphilarians. Please be advised that we will have a short break. So please stay tuned on our agricultural virtual focus. But then, shout out to my TLE agriculture family, to Ma'am Belinda Cruz, to Ma'am Adet Constantino, to my department head, Ma'am Virgie de Guzman, and the rest of fellow Delphilarians, student, Archinatics. Ayan, hello, Archinatics. Yung mga addict fans ko dyan, hello po. Then we shall proceed with the type of plant-based nursery businesses that we have. So in this kind of pandemic, so we try to establish our own plant nursery businesses in terms of how we are going to deal with the kind of businesses that we have. So very viral din po ngayon yung mga plantito at mga plantitas nowadays. So how are you going to start your own plant nursery businesses? But before starting, of course, we shall have the different kinds of the nursery businesses. At the nursery, seedlings and crops are produced by which fruit orchard, vegetable gardens, and ornamental gardens could be established with minimum maintenance, price, and care. Nursery business can be done and is profitable. There is a consistent demand for crops for home and public garden, highways, and gated housing societies. But what are the different types of nursery businesses? The first one we have the retail plant nursery. They usually do their business by selling to individuals who grow plants for their own indoor and outdoor garden. In this type of plant nursery, so usually indoor and outdoor plants as being sold. So usually, if you are going to have your outdoor or indoor plant, so necessarily this retail plant nursery is basically for those who are plantitos and plantitas na matatawag. So both indoor and outdoor plants as being sold or being sold in this kind of plant nursery. So the retail plant nursery. Next, we have the landscape plant nursery. But before having this kind of plant nursery, they should have experience on horticultural services for landscape and outdoor gardening activity. But one of the questions has been raised by one of my students before. Sir, okay lang po ba na hindi kami magkaroon ng knowledge on horticultural services para lang magkaroon kami ng isang plant business? And my answer goes like this. So wala po sa pag-aaral yan, wala sa estado hanggat gusto mo o matuto. Sabi ko nga, learning can be done anywhere else. So in this kind of pandemic, you try to broaden your horizon. This kind of landscape plant nursery based on horticultural services for both landscape and outdoor gardening activity. Next. We have the commercial plant nursery. This plant nursery should have an extended area. Why? Because growing, grafting, and transplanting stocks by selling in massive batches can lower the price to commercial farmers. So usually when it comes to commercial plant nursery, kailangan dito at least you have an extended area or malaki yung paglilipatan mo na area because during that time, pwedeng ilipat na yung tinatawag natin na plant doon sa panibagong lugar para doon sila mas lumaki at gumanda. So that is commercial plant from batches of significantly, so they will lower the price to commercial farmer. This one is the mail order nursery. So kung merong usually this type of plant nursery business, the crops have been sold directly to customers regardless of how far the purchase came from. Usually yung iba ino-order na to online eh. Pag may mga nakitang mga halimbawa, for example, nakakita ko ng ubas or grapes sa La Union, so definitely o-ordering ko yon online and then padadala sa akin. So that is a mail-ordered nursery. It does not, kahit gaano kalayo yung isang lugar, so definitely kung nagustuhan mo yung isang halaman, so you can do it by either mail order or you can purchase that one online. Okay, so that is the mail order nursery. Again, please like and subscribe on our YouTube and Facebook page, Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Maluleño. For the assessment, for the things that what you have learned, this is written works activity number 1. Now that you have learned about the different kinds of nurseries and the different types of plant nursery businesses, please answer the following question. What is the best kind of nursery for you? And then explain your answer. So that is your assessment. Okay, someone tell me that one of the best nursery for her is the what we call vegetable garden because she said that she likes vegetables a lot. Okay, so this is one of the answer coming from one of my student coming from 915. Okay, thank you 915 for your answer. He answered or she answered the question. I think sir, the best kind of nursery for me is the vegetable nursery simply because I do like vegetable. So sana all, mahilig sa vegetable. Okay? For your assignment next time, kindly do an advanced reading on plant nursery business basic inputs. Again, for your assignment next meeting, kindly do an advanced reading on plant nursery business basic inputs. Once again, please like and subscribe on our YouTube and Facebook page, Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Maluleño. Thank you, Del Pilarians, for listening and watching to our program. Sana all. Sir Archie, now I online with what I am living and I'm always saying to you, always remember, Christ's heart is eternal. Once again, thank you, Dr. Bibo, Mrs. Virginia de Guzman, TLE family, Teleradyo team, and the rest of the Delpilarians throughout the world. Ayan na, throughout the world na. Okay? So, Delpilarians, Archinatics, fellow Delpilarians, Archinatics, thank you for listening. Always remember, Christ's heart is eternal. Once again, this is your Sir Archie. Love you all. Now, signing off.
Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon, magkahatid sa kakibat ay diskusyon. Sama-sama tayo, kahit magkalayo. Sa programang ito, tiyak ang pagkatuto. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo, Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo, Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo.